Hello, Orbus here, and today I'm going to be talking about the new King Gizzard song that came out today, Gila Monster. It came out about 1 p.m. today while I was at work, and I wasn't going to wait, so I listened to it in the bathroom at work, and then I realised I needed to shit as well. So I thought, I might as well watch the music video, and then I listened to it one more time while I was at work. I think I watched the video again while I was at work. So by the time I had finished my shift, I think I'd listened to the song 3 or 4 times, and then when I got home, I listened to the song again twice on its own, and another time with the music video. So I've listened to it like 7 times today. And that's not counting the amount of times I listened to the live version beforehand, which I have no idea, maybe like 5 times. So I've heard this song at least 10 times. So hopefully I think I'm qualified enough to talk about it. Also, the reason I'm wearing a hood is because that's what they're doing in the music video. So don't question it. So let's talk about what my expectations were going into the song. So like I said, I'd already heard the song quite a few times because of the live version that had been put on YouTube. It was all over YouTube, and I couldn't help not listening to that a million times. And you might think that by doing that I'd kind of ruined the song because I already knew the song pretty well and I was kind of used to the live version. And there have been instances, I can't say that word, there have been times in the past where a band or an artist I like has debuted a song live first, way before it actually got released, and so I'd end up listening to that live version on repeat, and then I would get disappointed by the actual version because it was different from the live version. That happened with the Strokes and their song "Ode to the Mets," because obviously the Strokes hadn't been around for so long. It was so exciting when they debuted that song live. So I listened to it a million times, and then when the song came out on the actual album, I was disappointed by it. After a while, I came around and realised that version's way better, the one on the album. But I wasn't worried about that with Gila Monster. I think I knew, I had a gut feeling that I would like the studio version more. I mean, it's not like the versions on YouTube are super high quality, so either way, I was excited to hear this version, the studio version, because I knew it would sound pretty different. So let's talk about the actual song. So overall thoughts, I love it, shockingly. I mean, I loved Infest of Rat's Nest was one of my favourite King Gizzard albums, so something that's similar to that I'm not going to not dig. So one of the best things about this song that kind of differentiates it from the Infest the Rat's Nest songs is Ambrose. Ambrose has a lot of vocals on this track. It's basically Stu has a verse, and then Ambrose gets like the bridge parts, but they kind of swap lead vocals, which I like. I love King Gizzard songs where Stu and Ambrose switch vocals, like Shanghai, because it gives the song a lot of dynamic because they have pretty different vocal styles. Whereas with Joey Walker, I feel like his vocals are a bit too similar to Stu, so he doesn't have that same dynamic effect. And also, Ambrose gets his own verse, which is nice. So yeah, he adds a lot of dynamic to the song, and I think he was definitely if you had to say that something was missing from Infest the Rat's Nest, then I guess it was Ambrose vocals. I wouldn't necessarily the album needed Ambrose vocals. It's fantastic as it is, but I guess if that's going to be a frequent thing on this new album, I'm not going to say the whole name. PDA is what people are calling it. If it's getting a lot of ambi vocals, then that's a good way to differentiate it from Infest the Rat's Nest. So the main riff, it's pretty basic, I guess, but it's really good. The riff itself is pretty Infest the Rat's Nesty, which isn't really a surprise, but it works, and it sounds great. The actual sound of it is it's heavy as frick. So, but interestingly, the lead playing and the kind of the soloing, it feels a little different from Infest Vastness. I don't know what it is. It's still quite thrash metal style, but something about it is it's a slightly different vibe, which is nice. I suppose I could talk about the lyrics. I'm not going to go too in depth with it. I'm not really that great at analysing lyrics. I'm not. What's that YouTube channel? Motion in Art, the guy that does the Gizzard videos. He's really good at like digging deep into the lyrics of King Gizzard songs. But I get the general idea of this song. It's a monster that's like killing and causing destruction, and apparently it's growing as well, which is interesting. I mean, I'm gonna wait. I'm not focusing too much on the lyrics for now. I'm sort of going to wait till the album comes out to see how it kind of its place in the overall album story, because my assumption is it's going to be kind of a pretty concept-y album, with the lyrics being linked, intertwined, with it being an overarching story, murder of the universe style, Infest the Vastness style, because Infest the Vastness does have a kind of lyrical concept. So here's an interesting question. How will this album compare to Infest the Vastness? I want to hear what people watching this video have to say about this. So, will this album be better or worse, or about the same level of quality as Infest the Vastness? So, I mean, it's a pretty unfair question at the moment, not just because the album isn't actually out, but also Infest the Vastness has been out for 5 years. So it's kind of developed a bit of a classic status, at least to me. For me, obviously I love the album. I almost see it as among a lot of the King Gizzard classic albums like Nonagon Infinity and Flying Microphone and Banana. For me, it's up there with those. I feel like it's just a flawless album, and I think it's one of their best. So this new song, I can't quite be like, I can't quite compare it to the songs on that album, because I have so much attachment to those songs now, because I've been listening to them. Because when that came out, that was around when I was first getting into King Gizzard. Yeah, that was 5 years ago. So this song is fantastic, and there are some things about it that you could argue are better, like having Ambrose vocals gives it a lot of dynamic. So, but at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if it's better or worse than Infest the Rat's Nest, just as long as it's great, and at least a little different, which I think it will be. So let's talk about the music video. I mean, there's nothing too much to say about it really. I think the highlights of the video is probably the bits where they're all crowding around a cauldron, because the facial expressions on their face are just funny. What's interesting about the video, I think, is that you don't really see the monster itself that much until the end, and he's pretty scary looking when you do get a glimpse of him at the end. He's a big lad. So I'm wondering if there will be more music videos from this album, and in those videos we'll see more of the monster, or if the reason we haven't seen much of him is because it would be expensive to have a lot of him. Because overall this video doesn't look too expensive. So yeah. So that's all I really have to say about the actual song and the music video. So some extra info that's come out alongside the song. The track listing was also dropped. So I'm going to read them out. So track 1 is Motor Spirit, then Supercell, then Converge, then Witchcraft, then Gila Monster, then Dragon, then Flamethrower, and then the vinyl exclusive track Dawn of Eternal Night. So I'm not going to analyse the song titles too much. That's a bit far really. It's interesting to wonder what it means in terms of the actual story. You can kind of look into that, but I'm not really going to bother with that. A couple of interesting things. First of all, Converge. We already knew because a while ago they sneakily changed the name of this song, because if you didn't know, this song was on the demos collection volume 3 and 4, and originally it had a different name. I have it written down, Uncolonize, and and the name got changed like a week ago or something, and people noticed that and they thought, well, that can't not be a coincidence, so it has to be on the album, which is why I've got a playlist on my channel which has the name of the album. I'm not going to say it. And I put Converge on there because I was like, it's got to be on the album. So yeah, now we have actual confirmation that Converge will be on the album, and it'll be interesting to see what they're gonna do with it, because the one on the demos is just, I mean, it's awesome. It has some sick riffs, and I'm glad that they're not gonna just keep it as a demo, because it definitely deserves being made into a proper song. I guess it was just waiting for the right tone, which would have been a metal album. Okay, so the bonus track, Dawn of Eternal Night. There's a bit of controversy, how you say it, with that, because it's vinyl exclusive. Now that doesn't bother me personally, because I know I'm gonna buy it on vinyl, but that's because I've only recently become a vinyl buyer. But if I wasn't one, then I would probably be a little bit annoyed about this, because, you know, when I was first getting into King Gizzard like 5 years ago, I couldn't afford vinyl records. I had to settle for Spotify, and I would have been kind of annoyed about a song being cut off from me because I don't have enough money. Sure, you could probably listen to it on YouTube, because people will put it on YouTube, but it's not really the same. You want it to be a part of the album experience. So, you know, it is what it is. I'm not bothered, because again, I am going to buy the record. So I guess it's a good way to encourage people to buy records, but not everyone can. So you know, I can see arguments either way for it. What's also interesting is on Apple Music, and this happens a lot really. On Apple Music, they've put the track listing, and they've also put the length of the tracks. So I'll read all of them out, because I think it's quite interesting if I can find it. So the first track, Motor Spirit, is 8 minutes and 30 seconds long. About track 2, Supercell, is 5 minutes and 5 seconds long. Track 3, Converge, is 6 minutes and 16 seconds long. Track 4, Witchcraft, is 5 minutes and 3 seconds long. Track 5, Gila Monster, 4 minutes and 35 seconds long. Track 6, Dragon, which is 9 minutes and 44 seconds long. And track 7, Flamethrower, which is 9 minutes and 21 seconds long. And it doesn't have the bonus tracks, obviously this is Apple Music, so it's not going to have it. So overall, a lot longer tracks than in Festival on average, which will be interesting. I guess there's going to be jam type stuff. It's rather going to be a lot of jamming or complex structures, or a bit of both. Now overall, if you add that together, that's, I would say, an average album length, maybe a little over, but nothing crazy, because somewhat recently we found out that the album would be on 2 LPs from like a picture they posted on Instagram, which is interesting because you don't know if it's going to be just over only fitting on 1 disc, or if it's going to be like super long to the point that it will fit both discs to the max. Now, if you just take into account these tracks, that I guess just over that would be. But with the bonus track, that's definitely going to be over the single disc limit. But by how much, we have no idea. It could be like a 5-minute song, it could be a 20-minute song. We have no idea. So I think the only other thing that I really want to talk about is the potential release date, which we still don't know. The only clue we have is that on the website it says that shipping starts early July, but that doesn't necessarily mean it will come out early July. My guess is it's going to come out in June sometime, but who knows. It'd be kind of nice if it came out early July, because that's when my birthday is, so that'd be a nice birthday present. But I think that's all I have to say. So thank you for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't, if you want to see more. If you've got to this point in the video, then I'm going to assume you're a King Gizzard fan, and I'll definitely make more King Gizzard videos. So you should subscribe so that you see those. So yeah, that's all from me. I'll see you soon. Take care. Goodbye.